So we're going to ask you a bunch of questions, and when you're done answering, you're just going to take one thing off, throw it on the floor.
Okay.
We'll direct you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like you'll tell me specifically.
Yeah, and just
which
like the
piece you want me to
interview, the
take off.
closets is very organic, very natural.
Cool.
Don't edit
And this is
yourself.
cool if I just keep my back to the side like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and you can talk to whoever's you want to.
Yeah, so both these cameras are
Yeah, but you can
video.
talk to her. She'll probably ask you most of the questions. You can talk to her.
Okay, cool.
Can you just start by talking about what your style says about you?
My style, I would say, says that I don't know, kind of don't have any rules. I don't get too fussy with what I'm wearing. I'm just like, hey, this fits nice, cool, let's go.
Can you take your hat off?
Yeah. Because I do like to wear colors and prints and skirts and, you know, high-waisted things, people are like, oh, you're girly. I don't know, I guess I just go back to thinking about being in Texas and rolling around in, like, the dirt and just, like, being at punk concerts kicking somebody or just, like, you know, and, like, girly? But then I'm sitting here with braids and a skirt, like, yeah, okay, girly.
Can you put the back? Can you talk about the other things in your life other than style where you express your passions?
Luckily, I mean, being a model, I feel like in one way I treat that as a form of expression. I get to do a little acting, and that for me, that's really my favorite form of expression. Every day we do this and this, and we, you know, people don't get to see these other colors. Like, I'm sad sometimes, I'm stupidly angry sometimes, I'm stubborn, I'm like this, and so it's kind of fun to be able to just go up there and express that, dig that, you know, dish all that out, you know, just go up in front of someone and just like go like, okay, so today I was on the subway and this guy ran into me and I mean, he's like 10 times my size. Why did he just push me? Like, there's no reason for that. I mean, this like little skirt and he looks at me, he's this big guy and he's just staring at me, like waiting for me to say something. So I say, I'm like your daughter's age. Just being able to get up in front of your peers that you love and trust in your class and just be able to just like share things with people. It's so freeing.
Can you take sunglasses?
Yes.
Talk about a favorite body part.
My favorite body part? My favorite body part, I guess, would have to be my eyes. Even in acting, they tell us the way to make an instant relationship is to look at the object you're working with. If you were to see me, okay, here I'm staring at the floor, and then you see the reaction when I look you in the eyes, it changes because it's an instant relationship.
And what about in insecurity that you've had to overcome about yourself?
I love my teeth, I do. But there's just sometimes, like, you know, I feel like sometimes there's certain photos where, like, I have like a really big smile and like very, you know, gummy. Sometimes I look in pictures and I'm like, First coming into the industry, my agent was like, hey, you know, we'll see what happens, but we may have to close that up, like it may be too big, especially with fashion. It's also like chic and this and that. It's like a smile isn't really chic, I guess. I don't know. When I grew up and people told me, your gap is ugly or whatever they say, you know, my friends would be like, don't you ever change that about you, you know, like, and that helps. I'd also have to say that probably having bigger boobs than most models, I look at other pictures of girls that don't have as much and be like, why is this different? You see a girl with not much and it's like very chic and cool, and I guess it's like when you have bigger boobs, it becomes something a little bit more sexual. I shot with Lauren Hutton once, and one thing she told me, she gave me a piece of advice, was the most important thing for your career or for yourself is to educate yourself. Nobody wants to shoot or have a muse that doesn't have something going on behind her eyes. I feel like that's what's helped me break out of these boxes.
When do you feel the most vulnerable?
I'm a bit hard on myself about doing things right. Even in my acting class, a lot of the time she's like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? Like, you know, but you learn more from failing than you do from succeeding.
If you could talk about a struggle that you've turned into a strength.
Before I lived in Austin, I lived in a small town, like kind of middle of nowhere, and I saw kind of what unhappiness looks like, I guess, with the struggle of worrying about money all the time and worrying about where we're going to be. There wasn't a lot of enjoyment happening in my childhood, not a lot of like, yeah, we're having fun, we're going here. At least in my family, it wasn't going to be handed to me. you know, what I want. You know, I want to see the world. I want to experience people. The year that I was on my friend's couch, my senior year in high school, I was literally like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have any money to go to college. I'd already worked in this grocery store for 3 years. I'll just be a grocery store clerk. I'll be like a manager. I'll make more money. Like, that's it. I'll just figure that out. And then got discovered like 2 months before I graduated high school and was like just some small girl from Texas,
Oh my God.
no style, no, like I didn't have any cool clothes. Everything I do have, I'm very appreciative of it.
When do you feel the most beautiful?
I mean, it sounds strange, I guess, but when I'm like staring in my lover's eyes, is that weird? I don't know. I just feel like he sees something, you know, that other people don't see. It's like a secret almost, you know?
Skirt. And last question. Can you respond to the quote, "In your body is a good place to be"?
I'll never be able to see what you see. I'll never be able to experience what you experience. The fact that we each have our own perceptions about things, it's like, yeah, it is special. I almost wish I could share it with people sometimes. Of course, it'd probably be boring for the person because they don't see what I see, but I wish I could share that. So in my body is a good place to be. Because I don't know, I just can, you know, I'm privileged with feeling and tasting and everything. What I experience in this body is good for me. I like it.
Totally. That was perfect. Thank you so much.
Did that tea ever?
Oh, yeah,
Thank
it
you.
might be a little lukewarm now.
That's okay.
You can get me a new one.
No, it's perfect.
Those are such beautiful answers.
I know. I'm really like touched.